Welcome to another episode of Cook Like a Bastard. You know, one of the premises of Cook Like a Bastard is make things easier. Maybe cook things in an instant. Well, today we're going to cook something in an instant pot. You know what we're going to do? We're going to make short ribs. Like a bastard. One thing we really like to do here in the Bastard Studios is just kind of make cooking easy, make cooking fun, make it interesting. And the Instant Pot has really helped me do this. You know, I gotta be honest, the first couple of recipes I did with this, they were not very good. I'm not sure what happened, but I was kind of off on it. And then I tried some short ribs. Now, honestly, I didn't even know what short ribs were. Hey Google, what are short ribs?
According to Wikipedia, short ribs are a cut of beef taken from the brisket, chuck, plate, or rib areas of beef cattle. They consist of a short portion of the rib bone, which is overlain by meat which varies in thickness.
And they look just like this. I have about 2 pounds of short ribs right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm first going to saute them. So just push the saute button right here on the Instant Pot, which has moved apparently because it used to be right here. And matter of fact, it's still right there. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in there. Just let it heat up for a moment. So as the oil heats up just a little bit, we're going to salt our meat, and we like to use pink salt. Remember, pink salt is the official salt of Cook Like a Bastard and Cook Like a Bastard Studios. So I'm just going to brine some meat on the salt or salt on the meat, whichever you want to do. I'm going to go the salt on the meat route because we're not making short salt, we're making short ribs, right? Well, the one thing about these things, remember, short ribs could come with the bone in. I prefer to have the bone out ones and make a much better experience. Now, I'm only cooking for 2 right now, so you may have to do this slower, but I have enough room in my Instant Pot to fit a little under 2 pounds worth of short ribs. So you just want to kind of sear the outside, just brown it a little bit to hold in the moisture while we do the long cooking process, and then turn it over. So after we're done searing the meat, we're going to take it out and put it on a plate and let it sit for just a little bit while we prepare the carrots, the celery, and the potatoes to make this a tasty dinner here at Cook Like a Bastard. So as we let our meat sit just for a little bit, let's walk through some of the ingredients we're going to be using. So for vegetables, we are using carrots, potatoes, onion, and a couple stalks of celery. And some of our spices are some brown sugar, some salt, some pepper, some margarine, like 4 cloves of garlic. We have some soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and balsamic vinegar. They all look the same. Don't worry if I punch you the wrong one. We have a half cup of chicken stock. And you know what else we have? 1/2 cup of wine. We are using a Spanish wine today. You can use whatever type of wine you want. Make sure it's red. So anyhow, these are ingredients when we prepare the potatoes, which are very easy. We're going to take about 5 of them, 6 of them, and just cut them in half. And we're going to mash them later. Funny story about this knife. I'm not going to tell it to you, but it's a funny story. Maybe next time we use it. It has to do with decimal points. Yeah. So yeah, we have our potatoes. And take our onion, it's been peeled, we're going to cut off the end. Get that out of the way. Slice it into quarters, 1/8, 1/16, 30 seconds. However far you can do the math, you might as well go that way. Because onions are adding flavor, and flavor's good. I got multicolored carrots here. These are a lot more expensive, really not worth it, but it makes it so much prettier when we're sitting here doing these videos. So that's the type of investment we make though. We don't care, we might spend extra $2 on the carrots just to make the presentation that much prettier. So yeah, we're going to cut our carrots here, cut off the stems. These have been cleaned. Get these stems out of the way. cut off the toes. These are officially called the toes of the carrots. Didn't know you knew that. So we're gonna cut these into smaller slices. Get the onion off there, which you did. And we have some delicious little carrots we're gonna throw in there. What else do we have? We have our 4 cloves of garlic. These are large cloves. You have smaller cloves than this. You might want to have more because it's really hard to have enough garlic when you're doing anything with garlic. So we're just gonna smash these. And then just dice them. So after we cut all of our vegetables, and you could do this ahead of time, it just made better television to do it now. We put this thing back into saute mode, and then we just put our onions and garlic in here first. There's a little oil left over and some little tasty meat part. So just let this saute. Why is it that garlic and onions just smell so good? Because they are good, that's why. Was actually a rhetorical question. Always remember to be careful when you're using garlic that you do not ever want to burn garlic. So after the onions start to get a little translucent, we're going to start adding some of our spices. And we don't have a lot. And I guess brown sugar is hardly a spice, but that's 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Salt here. Put in about a half tablespoon. If you'd like, I guess I put in a little bit more. Put in an ounce of pepper again, another half tablespoon or a little more than a teaspoon if you want. Pop in a couple bay leaves. Put in some marjoram. I got about a tablespoon of marjoram here. And then we're going to mix these cats up just a little bit. Ow! Kind of coat the onions and the garlic. And then I'm going to put in my other liquids here. I'm going to put in my balsamic, 2 tablespoons of that. Tablespoon of soy sauce, kind of a low sodium soy sauce. You don't want to make it too salty. And a little Worcestershire sauce. Mix those guys together here. And then what I have here, I have a half cup of chicken stock. You can use beef stock if you want, or even a vegetable stock to make it more vegetarian. Vegetarian short ribs. Okay, we got those guys going. I'm going to put in my half cup or so of red wine. Mix those up, and then add the celery and the carrots. Mix all of them in, just like so. So you continue mixing these up, and let's put our meat in. Now, the meat needs to do a little bit of magic. It needs to go from the top and ends up kind of below the vegetables. So we're going to do a little topsy-turvy thing. I think that's the official term, topsy-turvy. If you go to the Instapot Bible, they will call it the topsy-turvy method. Don't quote me on that because I just made that up. So we're going to put the meat down, get the carrots and the onions up on top of it, make this a very good mixture. So as we get this going, it's going to be high pressure for a 42-minute, and we're going to do a natural release on this when we get going. So now we put the potatoes on top. I have a little silicone basket I use. There are other types of baskets, but this works really well for those, kind of separating the potatoes in so they don't get so overcooked. But we are making mashed potatoes out of when we get done with this. So we put these guys on top. So we have everything in here. Maybe one of the more complicated parts of the whole process is getting the lid on tight. Now, things I know is that the pressure knob is on the back, so this should help, and it says close here. And it just made a sound, so things must be going well. Now that you've managed to get the lid on, the next thing is to push the right buttons and get it started. Be so careful not to press the yogurt button. That would be embarrassing to have yogurt short rib. So what you do, you press the cancel button, which is important, then press pressure cook, and it's on more already, and we are going to press plus until we get to 42. And there we are. So this is a natural release. So we're going to set it. It's going to go for a while, and then on its own, it's going to cook down for a while, and then we're going to have some tasty, tasty short ribs here on Cook Like a Bastard. This has hit 15 minutes right now, and I'm going to finish the release. Whoa! The upper camera must be loving that. This is re-seared, so you take a couple minutes. All right, it's wrapping up, it's releasing. We see close this way, open this way. Let's make it happen. And it opens. They have convenient little places for your lid to go in here. And we're going to take our potatoes, careful, they will be hot, and pour them into a bowl here. I'm just going to mash them a little bit with a potato masher. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. You know, you don't want them real fine. Take this, take the potato, put it on the plate. Beginning with some goodness in here. Some short ribs that are also tender. Oh, look at that. This is what you want. This is how it just breaks up like this. And this is why you've used the Instant Pot and the pressure cooking to make that happen. So use some of the nummy sauce, get the potatoes, carrots, celery. I just can't wait. I got to taste of this meat. It is so tender.
He cooks like a bastard.
It's great. You taste the subtleties of some of the spices and the marjoram in there, and the salt and pepper just makes it really good. The onions, man, the meat, it's just so good when you cook it so long. It's so tender. Anyhow, we've made short ribs in an Instant Pot here on Cook Like a Bastard.
Hey, if you'd like to make Cook Like a Bastard's Instant Pot short ribs, here's a list of ingredients you'll need. 2 pounds boneless short ribs, 1 large onion, 4 cloves of garlic, 4 colorful carrots, 2 stalks of celery, 1/2 cup red wine, 1/2 cup chicken stock, 1 tablespoon soy sauce, 2 tablespoons balsamic vinegar, 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon brown sugar, 2 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon margarine, 1 tablespoon olive oil, and salt and pepper to taste.
Like a bastard,